What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of NBA and college basketball action here on Friday, January 23rd. I'll be giving you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game. We're going to break down the biggest college basketball games of the night. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So, guys, I think you should slam that like button. I think I deserve it. Coming off a goddamn perfect 6-0 day there yesterday. 5-1 on Wednesday. 6-0 on Thursday. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that, so slam that thumbs up button. Really appreciate everybody that takes the 10th of a second to do that every single day. Get in there and subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss out on this. This is pure gold. The last 2 days, I am 11-1. Like I said, it does not get a whole lot better than that. So definitely subscribe if you're new around here. Really appreciate all the new subscribers. We've had a big influx. We're at 67,000 something subscribers. We're on the road to 100,000, trying to make that happen this year. So let's see if we can make that a thing. Also, get down there in the comments. I'm in the comments every single solitary day answering all of your questions, just talking to you guys. I love to be connected to everybody that watches these videos. You got any questions about anything across the sports world, I'm more than happy to get back to you, or anything about these videos, anything you want to say. I'm going to be in there. I at least read, if not read, and respond to every single comment. I do that personally every single solitary day. Also, make sure you're checking the pinned comment. That's where you're going to find that gold every single solitary day. We went 6-0 in our pinned comment plays there yesterday. A very, very nice day. So let's go ahead and dive in and break down all those winners, because that feels pretty good when every single pick was right. We got off to a great start. We cashed the 76ers plus 2.5, an insane overtime game there from the 76ers behind a big game from Maxey, who got absolutely screwed on that missed goaltending call. A triple-double from Embiid. This team is actually looking pretty good. I think they could cause some problems in the East come playoff time. Also, Kelly Oubre is a massive upgrade for a drastically lower price than Paul George. There, I said it. If you know hoop, you know that is true. We just cashed the Clippers -3. That was the last game to get over tonight. They came through, tried to mess it up there at the very, very end, letting the Lakers go on a little 8-0 run, but Luka passing up a wide open 3 late in that game. That was super weird, but yeah, the Clippers do eventually come away with the win and cover, taking down the Lakers. On the college basketball side, we cashed Wisconsin -5.5, and this one was over early, guys. This maybe should have been our lock of the day, because the Badgers jump out to a 50-22 lead there by halftime and didn't need to do anything crazy after that, cruising to a comfortable 98-71 win. So we'll definitely take the win on that one. We cashed our under there in Quinnipiac, Mount St. Mary's, under 147.5. The first half did make me sweat a little bit, but eventually we cashed the under in this one with some room to spare in that 77-62 win there for the Quinnipiac Bobcats. We cashed our dog of the day and our massive lock of the day. We had the Hornets plus 7.5. Got a lot of flack down in the comments, guys, for that Hornets plus 7.5 pick. They come out and straight up win this game 124-97 over a struggling Magic team that seems like it needs to make a move before the trade deadline, because things are not going the right way for them. Charlotte is so good playing on no rest this season, and it was a textbook bounce back spot for them shooting from deep. They shot like 40-something% from 3 in this one after just having a horrendous shooting night from 3 the night before. We cashed Denver on the money line there as our massive lock of the day. They came through whether you took the money line or if you took them against the spread. The Nuggets got Valanciunas back, which is a big help, but maybe even bigger than that has been the emergence of Peyton Watson as a potential huge piece for this team. He's been playing amazing now that he's getting tons of minutes and tons of touches with all the injuries that Denver has going on. So that was it, guys. A perfect 6-0 sweep. You love to see it. We also had a very nice winning day over there on the premium side, cashing a 3-unit play and a 2-unit play over there on the NHL, cashing both our NBA picks there in the Nuggets and 76ers, and going 2-1 there, cashing 2 1-unit plays and bricking 1.75 unit play on the college basketball side. So a fantastic day across the board. Everybody putting up some wins. So let's go ahead and dive in, see if we can find some more wins out there on a very interesting Friday. A very nice NBA slate. The college basketball slate, not that crazy, but still some good games mixed in there. So we're going to break down both, and let's go ahead and get after it. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. I think I earned it today. Make sure you've subscribed to the channel. If I haven't earned your sub over the last 2 days, I don't know what else I can possibly do. Let's get after it. First up, we got the Houston Rockets heading to Detroit to take on the Pistons. The Rockets come into this game 26-16 on the season. They had that tough overtime loss last night in Philly, losing that game 128-122. I mean, the Rockets have to be a little bit tired for that one, probably, and they're going to be a little bit tired for this one. We did see some positive things. I mean, KD putting up 36 points, but when you've got a very old man like Kevin Durant playing 44 minutes, you have to question what he's going to be able to put together for you on the second half of a back-to-back. Amen Thompson played 42 minutes, had 17 points. We saw from Tari Eason coming off the bench. Reed Shepherd had a pretty nice day off the bench as well, but the Rockets losing despite shooting 45% from 3 is a bad look. Sengun had a bit of a rough night out there, definitely struggled to do anything meaningful against Embiid, who had a monster performance. So yeah, a little bit of a tough showing there from Houston. Obviously here playing on no rest, we don't have a fully updated injury report, but you gotta think, if at minimum, even if Durant is playing in this game, he's going to be exhausted, and a lot of these guys played some pretty heavy minutes. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Detroit Pistons. Probably not the team I would pick to be playing here coming off an overtime game, but the Pistons, they're fresh off a 112-104 win there over the Pelicans. They've been the best team in the Eastern Conference so far this season. A big win over the Celtics here very recently, so everything pointing in the right direction for Detroit. We liked what we saw from Jalen Duren. He put up 20 points. They won this game over the Pelicans by 8 points after Cade Cunningham was a very late scratch in that game. Thank God we were on the Pistons on the money line and not against the spread, because that was some pretty late breaking news and pretty tilting. But Detroit played well enough to get the win. They did a good job slowing down Zion, who got hurt again. Shocker of the year that Zion is now injured once again. I mean, I don't know what they're supposed to do with him at this point, but a very good day there from the Pistons. They got to be stoked. They come into this one looking relatively healthy with Cade on the injury report, though. That's always something to be worried about. Karis LeVert on there as well. Cade, he's dealing with that illness. He's officially questionable for this game against the Rockets. So that's obviously a huge deal. Having already missed one game, I do expect him to probably make it back for this one. We'll have to wait a little bit closer to tip-off to have that confirmed, but I'd be pretty shocked if Cade doesn't play in this game, especially with the spread that we're seeing for it right now. Duncan Robinson is probable due to a lower back sprain. I don't know if I've seen that one before, but yeah, dealing with some lower back issues. Karis LeVert is doubtful to play. We actually like that. I think the Pistons are worse with him coming off the bench. And Ron Holland, the second guy's dealing with an illness. Sounds like he will play in this game. So looking at the numbers, the Pistons are 4.5-point favorites. That tells me the odds makers definitely think Cade is going to play in this game. We've got a total of 217.5. Houston's 12-11 against the spread on the road, 1-3 against the spread on no rest, 21-19-1 to the under. Detroit is 10-11 against spread at home, 16-15 against spread after win, 24-17-1 to the under themselves. I'm not taking under 217.5 in this game, guys, but I will definitely take the Pistons here at -4.5. Seems like a very solid spot. The Rockets are going to be exhausted. Detroit is not a team that lets up on you if you are exhausted. They are going to get after it every single possession. They play great defense, so definitely giving the Pistons here at -4.5 with the expectation that Cade is going to play. Next on the docket, we got the Phoenix Suns heading to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. The Suns are 27-17 on the season, been one of the best surprises in the NBA this year. They're coming off 3 straight road wins. They've won, their last 3 in a row. They dropped the first 2 of this road trip. They're heading into Atlanta, another road game, so we'll see what they can do. In their 116-110 win over the 76ers, it was not the full-strength 76ers. We didn't see Embiid in that game, but overall, very good stuff there from the Suns. We liked what we saw from Devin Booker for sure. Colin Gillespie had a good day. Allen and Goodwin both played really well off the bench. So did Jalen Green. His return went pretty well. We did see Dillon Brooks have a terrible shooting night. Maybe he's in for a little bit of a bounce back here. We'll see. This has been a very long road trip here for the Suns, so we'll see what they can put together in this one. They are at 100% for this game, so that definitely helps. No serious, no even slight injury concerns here. They should all be healthy and ready to go as they head to Atlanta. Now the Hawks, they're fresh off a 124-122 come from behind win there over the Grizzlies. Jalen Johnson putting up a monster performance. Overall, this team has not been having a great time. The idea was that getting Trae Young out of town, bringing in CJ McCollum was going to be a big overall boost, and then all of a sudden they were going to look way better. That has not really been the reality. They shot the lights out in that win over Memphis, shooting 44% from 3. They did a decent job on the boards, nothing too special, but kept it even. Overall, a very good day. Jalen Johnson really leading the way, but great production off the bench from Luke Kennard, as well as CJ McCollum. He was okay off the bench too. So we'll see what the Hawks can do in this one. Their injury report coming in this game looks pretty similar to what we've been seeing. Richache is on there. Sounds like he'll be reevaluated here in 3 or 4 more days, so he definitely won't play. Porzingis dealing with that Achilles is also out another 3 or 4 days at a minimum. So the Hawks are going to be without those 2 guys for sure. So looking at the numbers, Atlanta's getting 2.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 233.5. The Suns are 16-9 against spread on the road, 17-9 against spread after win. That's an NBA best mark against spread after win. They are 25-19 to the under. Atlanta is 7-13 against the spread at home, 10-10 against spread after win, 24-22 to the over. This feels like a trap, but so did that Wisconsin game last night, and we cashed that one easily. Give me the Suns here at -2.5. I don't know why this number is so small. I guess it's because the Suns have been on the road for so long, but with them fully healthy, the Hawks going to be missing Richache and Porzingis. I just think Atlanta's in a pretty bad spot. They barely got past the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies suck, so definitely give me the Phoenix Suns here at -2.5. Now, guys, before we break down the Boston Celtics heading to Brooklyn to take on the Nets, we got to shout out the sponsor today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers, and they are on fire right now. Our premium members get daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, and college basketball picks. We had an extremely profitable day there on Thursday, cashing 2 nice big hockey plays, cashing a 2-unit play on the Predators, cashing a 3-unit play on the Wild. One of the plays that we cashed on hockey, maybe it's that Blackhawks play, was a 2.5 to 1 or something like that. So a very, very nice day over on the hockey side, despite the fact that overall we went 3-2 on hockey. The 76ers came through for us on the NBA side, the Nuggets as well. And then on college basketball, we cashed 2 out of 3, cashing Portland State -2 as a 1-unit play, breaking out on New Mexico -6.5. Missouri State actually won that game straight up, but cashing Wisconsin -5.5 as a 1-unit play. It's unfortunate that Wisconsin play didn't end up being more units, because that one looked like one of the easiest wins in recent memory. So a very, very good day over there for the premium members at stumpthespread.com. Definitely get over there and check out those premium pick packages, guys. They're a very, very good value. Imagine you had bought one yesterday. You had paid whatever it was. So you got a week and it was like $40 or whatever a week is. And then you, bet some normal amount, like a normal human being would bet on the games today. You would be rolling the dough and have easily more than paid for that membership that you purchased, and still have, the rest of the week left. So definitely a solid value over there on the premium picks. Also, you got to get over there to stumpthespread.com and check out all of the free stuff. The free email newsletter is going absolutely crazy right now. Some golf stuff just went nuts. I don't 100% understand it all because I'm not a golf aficionado, but golf stuff that came out in the email that went out on Thursday morning or super late Wednesday night, I can't remember. Minwoo Lee was the first round leader. It was a 22 to 1 bet. Ended up being tied for first, so got paid out 11 to 1 on that one. Also some huge spots going on. 100 to 1 on Jacob Bridgman, tied 10th. He's plus 450 to get in the top 20. 80 to 1 on Jason Day. He's tied for 10th. He's plus 225 for the top 20. Just, it goes on and on. A bunch of very, very high value stuff there in the free email newsletter. And that's just golf. There's free picks every single day on college basketball or NBA or NHL or all of the above. There's tons of great information on stuff besides golf too. A bunch of UFC stuff's been going out. There's a big UFC card coming up. You guys would have to tell me maybe this weekend. Not a big UFC guy, obviously, but just tons and tons of great information in those emails. It's really easy to sign up. You go to stumpthespread.com. You try to log in and set up a free account. They're going to ask for your name and your email address to set up that free account, and you'll be getting that email straight to your inbox every single solitary day. If you have any issues, you can email support@stumpthespread.com. They'll get you set up, or maybe just check your spam folder. Sometimes they can end up in there, but definitely get on that free email newsletter. Definitely check that pinned comment every single day, and get over there and check out those premium picks. Also, we're coming off a 6-0 day. You guys should be, as the meme goes, flush with cash. So maybe consider picking up a Stump the Spread hoodie. They're only $40. We're selling them at cost with free shipping. So now would be a great time to pick up one of those. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from me here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get the name up on screen in every single video, but they are eligible for our members only giveaways. We straight up give away for free a Stump the Spread hoodie to one random YouTube channel member every single solitary Monday. And the more channel members we get, the more giveaways we're going to do. We're at like 101, 102. If we can get to 120 YouTube channel members, we'll up that to 2 giveaways per week. So definitely get in on that if you guys are interested. We put the name of every single YouTube channel member on a big wheel. We spin it live on the video every single solitary Monday. So don't miss out on those. Now, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you've gotten over to stumpthespread.com, and let's dive back in. We got a bunch more NBA games, and we have a bunch of very interesting college basketball to look at. So next up, let's dive back in. We got the Boston Celtics heading to Brooklyn to take on the Nets. The Celtics come into this game 27-16 on the season. They're fresh off a nice 15-point win there over the Pacers. To me, Boston's been the second best team in the East this season. All that news about, Jason Tatum going to potentially come back. If he's 80% of Jason Tatum when he comes back, all of a sudden this team takes a big leap. Jaylen Brown has been playing amazing, put up a 30-piece there against the Pacers in 34 minutes his last time out. The bench didn't look incredible. Anthony Simons had a bit of a down shooting night. Luka Garza chipped in 8 points and 6 boards though, so he's been playing very effective minutes. Caught a lot of flack, was catching a lot of strays in a lot of the big podcasts out there early in the season. I think I even saw Bill Simmons talking bad about Luka Garza, but dude's producing, so hats off to him. Overall, the Celtics played pretty well in that game. Nothing too insane, obviously, against a pretty mediocre Pacers squad. Now, Derek White is on the injury report. He is resting for this game. Will not play in this one in Brooklyn. So that isn't ideal, but if that means more, Anthony Simons minutes potentially, more Baylor Shireman minutes, it's definitely not the end of the world here for the Celtics. Other than that, they're healthy and ready to go as they head to Brooklyn. Not exactly a terrible trip for them to take on the Nets, who have lost 3 in a row. They just got absolutely obliterated there by the Knicks, losing 120-66. We'll see if they have any pride. See if they can, try and put together some sort of bounce back in this one. I mean, that was pretty horrifying. Michael Porter Jr. led the Nets with 12 points. They scored 66 points. That's pretty nuts. Now, the Nets are fully healthy coming into this game. Going to have Cam Thomas coming off the bench. Going to have Michael Porter Jr. there in the starting lineup. So they're as ready to go as they can be. They're getting 8.5 points in this game. We've got a total of 216.5. Boston is 15-8 against the spread on the road this year. That's pretty nuts. They're 15-11 against spread after win, 25-18 to the under. Brooklyn is 11-11 against spread at home, 15-13-1 against spread after loss, 25-17 to the under. With both teams showing such huge trends to the under, maybe we have to think about under 216.5, but I don't know that I can really stomach that. Instead, I'm just going to take the Celtics here minus 8.5. I know no Derek White is not ideal, but their guys very hungry for minutes there on that Celtics bench. I think that's not going to have the biggest negative impact ever. The Nets are not necessarily a great defensive team, especially coming off the bench at times. I mean, when Cam Thomas is on the floor, there's one very big defensive weakness. So we'll take the Celtics in this one. I don't know if it'll quite make the pin comment, though, with Derek White on the bench. Rolling right along here, we've got the Sacramento Kings heading to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers. The Kings are 12-33 on the season. They went on that 4-game winning streak. Well, now they've lost 3 in a row, losing to the Blazers, the Heat, and the Raptors. Now they're going to head to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers. We'll see what they can put together. Things have been very, very bleak for Sacramento this season overall, obviously. I mean, they're healthy, at least. We'll see if they end up trading away guys like potentially DeMar DeRozan could be on the move. Sabonis is floated in injury. He's been floated in trade rumors constantly, but never seems to quite get moved. I actually like Renaud for this team a decent amount, so maybe that makes them more willing to move Sabonis. We'll see what happens, but the Kings have been absolutely atrocious this season. The Cavaliers, on the other hand, have been okay. Definitely not as good as they were supposed to be. They were supposed to rule the East this year. That has not been the case. They're coming off a 94-87 win there at the Hornets, a game they probably should have lost, to be honest. It was that close of a game, and the Hornets shot 17% from 3. 17%. Cleveland in that game, I mean, nobody played particularly amazing. I mean, Donovan Mitchell led the way with 24 points, but it took him 20 shots to get those 24 points. Jalen Tyson finally came back to earth after an amazing game, had a pretty mediocre game, 1 of 9 from 3. He was still a plus 14, though, got to mention that. The bench, really nobody showed up, so the Cavaliers are not having a super good time. Garland still dealing with injury. Sam Merrill still dealing with injury. Garland will be reevaluated in 7 to 10 days, so he's out at least another week, probably longer. And Sam Merrill has officially been ruled out for this game with another hand injury. So we'll see what they can put together in this one. They are 11.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 233.5. The Kings are 7-13 against the spread on the road, 11-21 against spread after a loss, 24-21 to the under. Cleveland is 7-18 against spread at home. That's an NBA worst mark against spread at home. 18-16 against spread after a win, 24-21 to the under. Guys, first of all, I just don't want to get involved in this game in any way. I don't like either one of these teams. I don't like what they're doing. I don't like how they're playing. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. If you're begging me for a play on this one, I will take the Cavaliers here at home at minus 11.5, but I have zero conviction in this play. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. In this next game, we've got the New Orleans Pelicans heading to Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. The Pelicans, they're 10-36 on the season. They've lost 3 in a row and 5 of their last 6. And now, guys, you're going to be shocked to hear this, but Zion Williamson is injured. In that game against the Pistons, we did not see him get him anywhere close to finishing the game, only played 15 minutes and scored 4 points. You hate to see anybody get injured, but with Zion, it just feels like a broken record kind of situation. 20 points from Sadiq Bey, Trey Murphy III putting up 17. You're hearing a lot of guys here on the Pelicans and injury rumors, but Jordan Poole, he's available, guys. You could trade for Jordan Poole. Your team could. He scored 11 points, going 4 of 17 from the field and 0 of 7 from 3 there against the Pistons. I don't know if that's a real attractive trade package, a real attractive guy to trade for. So we'll see what the Pelicans do here approaching the deadline, but the Zion injury stuff has to be pretty freaking tilting. He did end up, only playing those, dealing with an illness. So ended up sitting out the rest of the day due to an illness. That's weird, guys. That's just very, very odd. I mean, I guess hats off to him for suiting up and trying to play, but it was an illness. I was under something I saw told me that it was an injury. It was an illness. So shocker of the year, I was not able to watch that Pistons-Pelicans game. But Yeah, Zion, I mean, there's no indication he's going to miss extended time. We'll see if he's anywhere close to 100% for this one. Herb Jones still out. Jose Alvarado still out as they go to Memphis to take on the Grizzlies, who are 18-24 on the season. They've been alternating wins and losses. They did split that two-game series against the Magic that was played over in Europe. But coming off that 124-122 loss against the Hawks cannot feel good. They really gave that one up down the stretch. I mean, I don't know what to really say or think about this team. Ja's playing again, and he's playing relatively well. Not looking like old Ja, but he's putting up crazy assist numbers at least. We're liking what we're seeing from Jock Landale off the bench. Occasionally, Keem Spencer's putting up decent numbers. Jaren Jackson Jr., I do not know what happened to this dude. 17 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 5 turnovers, and a steal. Also 5 fouls in that game. Just not looking great. And not a lot is looking great for the Grizzlies right now. They come into this one looking a little bit banged up. We see Ja Morant on the injury report once again. Santi Aldama's on there. Ja officially ruled out due to a left elbow sprain. All right, I guess. Santi Aldama dealing with a knee issue. He's out for this one. We also see Ty Jerome is getting closer to making his season debut. Still has not played yet this year. He's ruled out for this one. He will not play, but it sounds like he's getting significantly closer. Look at the numbers here, guys. The Grizzlies are 5.5-point favorites at home, which is crazy to me. We've got a total of 234.5. The Pelicans are 9-11 against spread on the road, 18-16-1 against spread after a loss, 24-22 to the over. Memphis is 9-12 against spread at home, 11-12 against spread after loss, 24-18 to the under. I do owe an apology to Zion Williamson. He was not injured. He was sick. That's still a little bit weird, but he was not injured. I thought he was injured. For that reason, since he's apparently healthy and the Pelicans are ready to go in this one, I will take New Orleans here getting 5.5 points. No Ja is not good news for the Grizzlies. No Santi Aldama is also pretty bad news. That just means we see a ton of Cam Spencer minutes. I don't know how good of news that is. More Vince Williams Jr. and G.G. Jackson. Maybe that's not the end of the world, but I'll definitely take the Pelicans here getting 5.5 points. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Indiana Pacers heading to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder. The Pacers not having a very easy season. They're 10-35 overall. They're fresh off a 119-104 loss there in Boston. This road trip has not been going great. They got obliterated by the Pistons, lost by 9 at the 76ers, and lost by 15 at Boston. I'm not really sure what this team has to prove or what they've really got left in the tank this season. Siakam continues to thrive, put up 32 points in 33 minutes. Very, very good work from him. Efficient shooting numbers as well. Nembhard's having a very disappointing season. He went 0-5 from 3, and Neesmith with 0-4. Furphy in the starting lineup went 2-4 from 3. As a team, though, they shot 27% from long range. Darius Walker played well off the bench, I guess, but really hard to find a lot of positives here for the Pacers. They come into this one with the injury report looking very similar to what we always see. Mathurin ruled out with that thumb, but other than that, they're healthy and ready to go, or as healthy as they can possibly be with no Obi Toppin and no Halliburton. They're taking on pretty much the toughest team you can face in the NBA. They're facing the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are 37-8 on the season. They're fresh off a 20-point win there over the Bucks, which had Giannis really kind of freaking out about his teammates and stuff. Just demand a trade, Giannis. Please end this for us. But anyway, the Thunder, very, very solid production across the board. 40 from SGA, 18 points from A.J. Mitchell, who's in the starting lineup right now with the injuries situation. Kenrich Williams had 18 points in his 28 minutes with very solid shooting numbers. And we see the Thunder shoot 39% from 3. They are not going to lose many games when they shoot the ball that well from distance. So we'll see what they can do in this one. The injury report doesn't look perfect for them. Obviously, no J-Dub for this game. Hartenstein also still sidelining with that calf issue. We'll see A.J. Mitchell is on the injury report too. He's officially out with an abdominal strain, so that's also some bad news. Caruso out. Aaron Wiggins and Jalen Williams both on the injury report as well. Aaron Wiggins dealing with a groin issue is questionable, and Jalen Williams dealing with a back issue is also questionable. So we don't really know for sure who's going to be out there for the Thunder. They are very, very banged up, and at some point, even the insane depth that this team has built up has to start to fall apart a little bit. All that being said, the Thunder are 16.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 226.5 in this game. So the odds maker's not expecting this to be crazy high scoring. We'll see what happens. The Pacers, they're 8-13 against spread on the road, 15-19 against spread after a loss, 29-16 to the under. That's actually an NBA best to the under this season. The Thunder are 12-10 against spread at home, a 500 against spread team after win, 23-22 to the under. Guys, these two teams have already played once this season. It was a double overtime thriller back at the very, very beginning of the year. And we did see the Pacers eventually lose that game by 6. They're getting 16.5 points in this game, though. These massive underdogs have been just printing free money in the NBA in general this season. Obviously, it's not like a 100% win rate or anything, out of the realm of possibility like that, but they've been very, very high value. I will take the Pacers here, getting 16.5 points against a banged up Thunder team. Honestly, guys, and it won't feel super fun, but this has a chance to be our dog of the day. Heading into our last couple NBA games before we break down that college basketball slate, we're looking at our last Amazon Prime game of the day. We've got the Denver Nuggets heading to Milwaukee to take on the Bucks. Now, the Nuggets came through for us last night in Washington, getting that 10-point win over the hapless Wizards, and it was a very well-played game by Denver overall. The minutes that they had to play weren't that crazy, except for Peyton Watson did play 40. Jalen Pickett played 33. Jamal Murray played 36. Valanciunas played 22, but I'd be shocked to see him play here in the second half of back-to-back. Nobody played particularly well off the bench. I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr. had 2 points and was 0-5 from 3 in his 20 minutes. Definitely a bounce-back spot for him, and he's going to need to bounce back because he's going to be getting a lot more minutes in this game. Just looking at the spread, the Bucks are 6.5-point favorites. That tells me that the odds makers are really expecting a lot of guys to rest here for the Nuggets. We don't have a fully updated injury report. Christian Brown, Nikola Jokic, obviously both still out. Jamal Murray could potentially sit this game out. I do expect guys like Peyton Watson, Spencer Jones, maybe Aaron Gordon to play the second half of a back-to-back. That could be a little bit of a big ask, but we're going to see a lot more minutes in this game, I would guess, from guys like Jalen Pickett, Bruce Brown, Tim Hardaway Jr., who is in a big bounce-back spot shooting the ball. Jonas Valanciunas probably won't play on the second half of a back-to-back. That means more Zeke Naji minutes, maybe some Day'Ron Holmes minutes, so we'll see. Could be a bit of a skeleton crew type situation there for the Nuggets as they head to Milwaukee to take on the Bucks. And guys, the whole Giannis situation is not looking great. Calling out his teammates and just so much weird stuff, like saying he has never demanded a trade or doesn't want to be traded, or like, I don't know, like dude can't keep his story straight. It's getting very out of hand. I'm sick of hearing about it. Like, either demand a trade and get up out of there, or don't and shut up about it. Like, it's getting out of control. Also, like, quit trying to act like you don't want to be traded. Like, we all know you want to be traded. It's not a secret. Like, everybody knows. In that loss to the Thunder, Giannis only had 19 points and only took 11 shots. Feels like he's sending a message there. He had 14 boards and 7 assists, so it's not like he wasn't trying, but how hard was he trying on offense? I don't know. It was a bit weird. Kuzma, a terrible night. We didn't like what we saw from Bobby Portis really either. Just there's not a lot of talent on this team. I'm going to be real honest here, guys. So we'll see what they can do here. They are at home. Once again, not that mattered against the Thunder. They come into this game relatively healthy-ish. I mean, Giannis is healthy and ready to go. Miles Turner, he's dealing with an ankle issue. Sounds like he will play in this game. Kevin Porter Jr., he's listed as out. That oblique issue has him, sidelined for the foreseeable future. So the Bucks are still 6.5-point favorites at home in this game. We've got a total of 221.5. Denver is 15-9 against spread on the road, 5-3 against spread on no rest, 27-17 to the over. Milwaukee is 8-12 against spread at home, 13-11 against spread after loss, 26-17 to the under. This one makes me a little bit sick, I'll be honest. We have to wait and see a little bit here because I have no idea. Like, we could see everybody sit this game out for the Nuggets, but if we don't, especially on a nationally televised game, which that makes it less likely that they're going to sit everybody, I gotta take Denver getting 6.5 points. The Bucks are a freaking mess right now. There's no reason to be backing them. Giannis is that felt a little sabotagey in the last game. So I will take the Denver Nuggets here, getting 6.5 points. Another play that has potential to be our dog of the day. We might not be able to lock that in tonight, which I hate doing. Might have to add that in tomorrow once we find out who's actually going to be suiting up in this one for the Denver Nuggets. Next on the docket, we are looking at the Toronto Raptors heading to Portland to take on the Trailblazers. The Raptors have won 2 in a row, but taking down the completely soul-crushed Golden State Warriors in a massive outlier shooting game right after Jimmy Butler's injury. That doesn't feel that special. And then a 122-109 win at the Sacramento Kings. You're supposed to beat the Kings. So Toronto's done some good stuff this year. I've loved what I've seen from Brandon Ingram. He's played great. Scotty Barnes is having a good season. Emmanuel Quickley had a crazy career night the other night. There's a lot to like about this team. The bench might not be one of those things to like, honestly. It has not been amazing. We'll see what they can put together in this one. See what the health situation is looking at. Missing RJ Barrett is not great. Missing Colin Murray Bowles is not great. And they will both, or I guess RJ Barrett is officially questionable for this game. I'd be a little bit surprised to see him play. Colin Murray Boyles is also questionable here, dealing with that thumb issue. So it's pretty up in the air who's actually going to be available here for the Raptors, but they've made do without them. We'll see what they can do against the Trailblazers, who have been excellent this season. They won 4 straight games, tagging down the Heat, Kings, Lakers, and Hawks. So not a ton of monster performances mixed in there, but that win over the Heat did look pretty freaking good. Day'Ron Sharp, guys. Oh my God, he's having an amazing season. Shady on Sharp. I don't know what I just said. Shady on Sharp. 34 minutes, 27 points, 5 of 9 from 3. This dude deserves consideration for most improved player, if you ask me. Donovan Clingan, not the most productive night, but he had a huge night the night before. Denny Adjeva playing great, 20 points in 18 minutes, 7 boards, 4 assists. This team has dealt with plenty of injuries. Caleb Love had a good night off the bench as well, so they got to try and stay healthy. They got to get Drew Holiday back, which he will be back for this game. Denny Adjeva continues to deal with back issues. He does expect to play here against the Raptors, so we think he's going to be out there. Will he be able to play the whole game? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But look at the numbers, guys. The Blazers are getting 4.5 points here at home. That's nuts. We got a total of 224.5. Toronto is 13-10 against spread on the road. Congrats. They're a 500 against spread team after a win. Cool. They're 27-19 to the under. Portland, they're 14-8 against spread at home. They are 7-1 against the spread on no rest. Guys, give me the Portland Trailblazers here getting 4.5 points. This we will lock in as our dog of the day. And sprinkle the money line. I don't think that's a crazy idea at all. Wish we would have told you guys to sprinkle the money line there on the Charlotte Hornets yesterday. We're definitely sprinkling some money line here on the Portland Trailblazers, and they're 4.5 points. Now, guys, hopping over to cover a few college basketball games on, albeit a little bit sparse of a day. We do have a big rivalry game there between Ohio State and Michigan, and right off the bat here, we have a decent one. We're going to be looking at the St. Louis Billikens. They're number 24 in the nation now. They're going on the road to take on St. Bonaventure. The Billikens come into this game 18-1 on the season. They've been having a very good time. Now, when you look back, there are not a lot of incredible wins. They did lose by 1 against Stanford. That's their only blemish this season. But, I mean, if you look back, what's really their best win? I mean, they won at VCU. They took down Duquesne. We'll see. This team remains a bit untested. Robbie Avila, I don't know if you remember Robbie Avila from a couple years ago, making a lot of noise there on the Indiana State Sycamores, but we'll see. We'll see what he can do in this one. He's only averaging 13 points per game, but this team, the Billikens, they're 11th in the nation total offense. They're 9th in total rebounding, and they're putting up very good defensive numbers. They have been cruising in the A10 so far this season, so we'll see what they can do here. They are going to have to go on the road. That's not always the easiest thing to do, especially in conference play, but they're not exactly taking on world beaters. They're facing St. Bonaventure. Now, the Bonnies, they're 12-7 on the season. They are 1-5 in conference play. They had lost 5 in a row before getting that 84-70 win their last time out, taking down Loyola Chicago, who have been the worst team in the A10 so far this season. So we'll see what they can put together here in a bit of a letdown spot for them. Kind of wild that would actually be a letdown spot. They do have a solid leading scorer in Frank Mitchell. I mean, 17 points per game, 53% from the field is nothing to turn your nose up at, but this team is 175th in the nation total offense. They're only averaging, they're somewhere around the 275s in the nation in total rebounding. Like, none of that really, sounds to me like the kind of team that could give the Billikens a real run for their money. St. Louis does have a little bit of a look-ahead spot here. They have George Washington on deck. Not George Mason, they have George Washington. If it was George Mason on deck, that would be a much bigger look-ahead situation. The Bonnies, they're getting 8.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 157.5. St. Louis is 2-2 against spread on the road, 10-8 to the over. St. Bonaventure is 2-7 against the spread at home this year. They're 13-5 to the over. You could take over 157.5 in this spot. I think that's very reasonable. I don't have any problems with that, but I will definitely be taking St. Louis here minus 8.5. I think they win this game by double digits the vast majority of the time. They're by far the better team on both ends of the floor. They've got way more depth. Their offense is just far more potent. I definitely like the Billikens here, despite the fact they're playing on the road. Next up, we're headed out to the Big Ten. We've got the Indiana Hoosiers going on the road to take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. The Hoosiers, obviously the football team coming off that national championship win. We were on Miami in the points in that one, so we will take the win on that one. But the Hoosiers basketball team has dropped 4 straight. Now, that comes with a bit of a caveat. Their last 4 games have come against number 10 Nebraska. They lost by 6. At number 12 Michigan State, they lost by 21. Against Iowa, they lost that one pretty comfortably too. And their last time was at number 3 Michigan, and they lost that one 86-72. So they've been playing some of the toughest teams they can possibly play here in their conference schedule. Definitely get a little bit of a reprieve here taking on Rutgers, but it's not going to be a walk in the park. Lamar Wilkerson is a solid leading scorer. This team is not very good on the boards, though. They're decent offensively. Their defensive numbers aren't terrible, so we'll see what they can do here against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, who are 9-10 on the season. They're coming off a very close loss at Iowa, lose that one 68-62. Maybe we see the Scarlet Knights turning into more of a defensive-minded squad. Their defensive numbers aren't that incredible. Their rebounding is pretty bad. They're not a team that plays with a crazy amount of pace. Tariq Francis, 15 points per game. I just don't have a lot of amazing things to say here about this Rutgers squad. I mean, they're only 2-6 in conference play, so it has not been an easy year. The Scarlet Knights are getting 7.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 147.5. Indiana is 2-3 against spread on the road, 10-9 to the under. Rutgers is 4-7 against spread at home, 10 and 9 to the over. I do kind of think getting back home here, Rutgers is going to pull Indiana down to the mud and make this a close game. So I will take just a tiny taste there of the Scarlet Knights getting 7.5 points, but guys, this one not going to be making the pinned comment. Next up, guys, and by far the marquee game of the evening on the college basketball side, we got the Ohio State Buckeyes going on the road to take on the number 3 Michigan Wolverines. Now, Ohio State versus Michigan, one of the biggest rivalries in college basketball. The Buckeyes have won their last 2 in a row, beating UCLA. They were at home for that one in Ohio, and beating Minnesota also at home 82-74. So they've won 2 in a row. That being said, they're 5-3 in conference play. They do rely pretty heavily on Bruce Thornton, 20 points per game. I mean, he deserves to be relied on a little bit, shooting 57% from the field. They are a good defensive team. Offensively, they're 72nd in the nation in total offense, so nothing too insane. But the rebounding does leave quite a bit of room for improvement. The last time they played in a big step-up spot, or maybe not a step-up spot, but like a really tough opponent, they lost in a close one against Nebraska. They lost in a close one against North Carolina. So they have shown the ability to keep things attached against elite-level competition. But they have not played anyone nearly as good as the Michigan Wolverines this season. Michigan is 17-1 on the year. Their one loss was there against Wisconsin. Wisconsin coming through for us. Now, their last time out, an 86-72 win over Indiana. They beat Oregon by 10. They won at Washington, which a very impressive road trip to go out west there and take care of business. So you got to love it if you're a Michigan fan. I mean, they're clearly one of the best 2, 3, maybe 4 teams in the nation right now. Offensive numbers are off the charts. Their rebounding is off the charts. Their defense is very, very good. I don't have a lot of bad things to say about this team. They don't rely too much on any one main leading scorer. The problem confronting me in this game is they are 15.5-point favorites here at home, and that's coming off a game where they only won by 14 over Indiana. I think Ohio State is a far better team. Maybe this is a look-ahead spot. Ohio State's 2-3 against spread on the road. They're a 500 over/under team. Michigan is 6-3 against spread at home. They're 11-7 to the under. Guys, I think we have to take Ohio State in the points in a big rivalry spot. That's not going to go in the pin comment. I don't have that much faith. Michigan is just that much better of a team. They could win this game by 25. But I do think the Buckeyes probably find a way to keep this thing at least semi-attached, but we'll have to wait and see. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Marquette Golden Eagles heading to Butler to take on the Bulldogs. Marquette has been terrible this year. They're 2-7 in Big East play. They're 7-13 overall, but they are coming off a win, and what a win it was. They played an overtime game there, a barn burner of a game against Providence. We did have Providence plus 1.5 in that one. Thank God for the hook, because they do eventually, that does come into play. We do end up getting the win on that one, but Marquette had by far their best game of the season. I mean, obviously 38 points from Nigel James Jr. was absolutely insane. They shoot 35% from 3, which isn't that crazy. They get crushed on the boards. Providence has to be really, really tilted. They let that one get away. But all that does is lead us to a big letdown spot here for the Golden Eagles, who have been bad this year. They're not very good defensively. They're terrible on the boards. Now they got to go on the road here to take on the Butler Bulldogs, who are only 3-5 in Big East play. They're coming off back-to-back wins, though. Some very solid wins, too. Going into Seton Hall and getting the 77-66 win, and then playing host to DePaul, who've been a much better team this year. They got the 87-80 win in that one. Finley Bizjack putting up very good numbers. Really liking a lot of guys. I mean, Michael Ajayi, he's been very good. This team is in the top 70 nationally in total offense. They're a very solid rebounding team. The defense isn't necessarily amazing, but we do have to give them credit for holding Seton Hall to only 66 points. So, looking at the numbers for this one, Butler, they're 7.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 160.5. Marquette is 1-5 against the spread on the road this year. They're 11-9 to the over. Butler is only 5-6 against spread at home. They're a 500 over/under team. Not a spot where I'm interested in the total at all, but I will definitely take the Butler Bulldogs here to get the win and cover at home. I think they're by far the better team. I think they're in great shape in this game, especially with Marquette in a big letdown spot, so we will be slamming it here on the Butler Bulldogs. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Akron Zips going on the road to take on the Ohio Bobcats out there in the MAC. Now, Akron, they're 15-4 in the season, 6-1 in conference play. They've been the second best team in the conference there behind Miami of Ohio, who's been incredible this season. But Akron's coming off an 82-63 blowout win there at Buffalo. Now they got to go to Ohio, so they looked pretty comfortable on the road this season, winning at Bowling Green comfortably, losing by only 3 at Miami of Ohio, beating Tulane at Tulane. So they've done some very good stuff. Tavari Johnson's a monster, 20 points, 6 assists per game. Excellent numbers there. Akron, they get up and down, and their numbers reflect that. They're 4th in the nation in points per game. They are 6th in the nation in assists per game. The defense isn't necessarily a terrible problem. The rebounding might not be great, but this team has definitely put in some very good work. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Ohio Bobcats, who are 5-3 in MAC play. They're coming off a win over Northern Illinois, which Northern Illinois hasn't been great, don't get me wrong, but we have liked a decent amount of what we've seen from the Bobcats this season. They're not on the same level at all in terms of the pace of play like Akron wants to play with. I mean, the Bobcats are very weak on the boards. They're 330th in the nation total rebounding. Their defensive numbers are not great, and their offense is nothing compared to what we're seeing from Akron. Now, the numbers for this game are a little interesting. Ohio, they're getting 9.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 168.5. Akron is 4-1 against the spread on the road this season. They're 10-6-1 to the over. Ohio, they're 4-5 against spread at home. They're 10-8 to the over. So I definitely think you could talk yourself into over 168.5. I don't think that's a bad play at all, but better than that, I'll just take Akron here minus 9.5. I don't love going with favorites that are that big that often, but in this spot with a team that plays that up tempo, I think the Zips are in very, very good shape in this game. They do have Toledo on deck, so this won't be making the pinned comment, but I do think Akron's in great shape here. Last but not least, guys, we got the Utah State Aggies going on the road to take on the Colorado State Rams. Utah State, they're 15-3 on the season. They're 6-2 out there in the Mountain West, so having a pretty good time, but they have played a pretty easy schedule, and they've lost their last two in a row, losing at Grand Canyon 84-74, and then losing against UNLV 86-76. So maybe all of those easy opponents led us into a little bit of, led the odds makers and led kind of everyone into thinking the Aggies were a little bit better than they were. MJ Collins Jr.'s put up good numbers. They're 50th in the nation total offense. Their defensive numbers look good, but when you haven't played anyone, so those numbers lose a lot of their shine. So we'll see what they can do here. The last time they played Colorado State, they won 100-58. So kind of a little bit of a blowout. We'll see what they can do in this one. Colorado State will be at home for this game. They're 12-7 on the season, 3-5 in conference play. They're coming off an 81-52 blowout win over Air Force. But guys, Air Force is a mess. I think their coach just got suspended or something for being too crazy to the players. I don't even know, but that whole situation's a mess. Colorado State's a little bit of a mess on the boards themselves, for sure. They've been really, really bad on the glass. They also, obviously they've struggled a ton in this matchup, but they did beat Grand Canyon. That was a nice win on the road, so we'll see what they can put together in this one. They are getting 4 points here at home. We've got a total of 148.5. Utah State, they're 3-3 against the spread on the road, 10-7 to the over. Colorado State is 6-4 against the spread at home, 10-8 to the over themselves. Maybe over 148.5 is in play in this game. I really think that is actually pretty reasonable in this spot, given the way these two teams play. But I also think, Utah State won in this exact matchup by 40 points, 42 points. Surely they can win this one by more than 5 or more than 4. Definitely give me Utah State here playing on the road. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today on Friday. Hope you enjoyed that 6-0 day there on Thursday. Do me a big favor as a reward for that incredible winning day. Hit that like button. It really helps get these videos promoted out there, and I really appreciate everybody that takes that 10th of a second. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers this year. Let's see if we can make it happen. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I'm in those comments all the time, every single day. I appreciate you all watching these videos. Make sure you're getting over there to stumpthespread.com. A nice big winning day over there at stumpthespread.com today as well. So a great time to jump in over there with so many sports going on. Make sure you're getting on that free email list as well. All those golf write-ups are going absolutely nuts. Could be a massive, massive winning golf weekend for everybody that got involved in that. Definitely don't miss out on those. Don't miss out on the free picks tab either. And guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place for more sports betting action.